War elephants were important, although not widespread, weapons in ancient military history. Their main use was in charges, to trample the enemy and/or break their ranks. War elephants were exclusively male animals, as they are faster and more aggressive. Elephant taming began in the Indus Valley around 4,000 years ago. Taming is not used here as a synonym of domestication. Domesticated animals, such as cows or dogs, are born in captivity and eventually subjected to selective breeding. Elephants, probably due to their bad temper, expensive feeding, and slow growth rate, 15 years to adulthood, were, with very few exceptions, always caught in the wild and subsequently tamed for several purposes. The first species to be tamed was thus the Asian elephant, for agricultural ends. The first military application of elephants dates from around 1100 BC and is mentioned in several Sanskrit hymns. From the east, war elephants migrated to the Persian Empire, where they were used in several campaigns. The Battle of Gaugamela, October 1st, 331 BC, fought against Alexander the Great, was probably among the first confrontations of Europeans with war elephants. The 15 animals, placed at the center of the Persian line, made such an impression on the Macedonian troops that Alexander felt the need to sacrifice to the god of fear in the night before the battle. Gaugamela was Alexander's greatest success, which he won by carefully placing his cavalry away from the elephants. Following his conquest of Persia, Alexander recognized the use of the animals and incorporated a number of them in his army. 5 years later, in the Battle of the Hydaspes River, although without his own, Alexander already knew how to deal with elephants. The successors to Alexander's empire, the Diadochi, used hundreds of Indian elephants in their wars. The Carthaginians and the Egyptians began taming African elephants for the same purpose, while the Numidians used the forest elephant. African elephants were larger, but did not guarantee victory for Antiochus III the Great at the Battle of Raphia in 217 BC. In the next centuries, further use of war elephants in Europe was mainly against the Roman Republic. From the Battle of Heraclea, 280 BC, part of the Macedonian Wars, to the famous march across the Alps by Hannibal during the Second Punic War, elephants terrified the Roman legions. Like Alexander, the Romans found a way to cope with the dangerous elephant charges. In Hannibal's last battle, Zama, 202 BC, his elephant charge was ineffective because the Roman maniples simply made way for them to pass. More than a century later, in the Battle of Thapsus, February 6, 46 BC, Julius Caesar armed his 5th legion, the Aludi, with axes and commanded his legionaries to strike at the elephant's leg. The legion withstood the charge, and the elephant became its symbol. The reportedly effective anti-elephant weapon was the pig. Pliny the Elder reported that, quote, elephants are scared by the smallest squeal of a pig, quote, volume 8, 1.27. A siege of Megara was reportedly broken when the Megarians poured oil on a herd of pigs, set them alight, and drove them toward the enemy's massed war elephants.